it's Lena again, and we're making video 3 of this how to use loose characters. If you watched video 1 and 2, you will know exactly how we got to this point, but if not, pause this video and go back to the first 2. Okay, we're going back to the bear's heads here. I'm going to show you how to take a singular bear head and turn it into a bear head that is customizable in every way. So first thing I'm going to do is just take any of the heads, and we're going to work on taking the face out of the middle first, which is really simple. We're going to take some of the regular shapes in Canva, any shape, it doesn't really matter, and then we're going to turn them into the color of the bear's head using the dropper tool. And we're going to use these shapes to go all the way around the bear's head and mask off the areas that we don't want. I'm also going to turn the background this color just so I spend less time using masking. We're going to cover up the outline of the bear's head completely, leaving just the facial features on a brown background. Now this is so much easier than trying to cut around the facial features to get them out. This is a much faster way of getting your face out of your bear. So cover up every outline that you do not want, as I am doing. Just using any shape, circles would have worked for this too. Okay, so once I've done this, I'm just going to download this as a PNG, which I have here, and I'm going to once again edit the image and remove the background. Now this will give you just a nice clean and easy face, but this sometimes happens if the color is too close to the background color of your image. It's really easy to fix. You just take a circle, match the color to what it previously was, and then you're going to move it to the back, and then you're going to re-download this as a PNG with a transparent background, and it will just fix that completely. I just like to make mine really big before I download them, so I'm not losing any quality in the image when I come to reusing them later. So I'm just going to download that with a transparent background, and that has fixed that little issue. So once you have that little face separated out, we really only need one for this character because most of his expressions stay quite consistent. I'm just taking him off my canvas and putting the one I made there instead because it's all joined together and won't come apart in layers. Okay, going back to our original bear face, I'm going to remove all the details from the muzzle the same way, just using circles to cover up and colour match any details inside the eyes and inside the nose. This is to give us a truly blank face that we can work on later. Now I save copies of every step I do on things like this, so I'll have complete faces, partial faces and blank faces. So we've removed all the details, and I'm also going to remove the eyebrows just to give us the eyes and muzzles well positioned. And we're going to download this one also as a PNG and remove the background just like before to give us a completely clean little facial expression. So once I've downloaded that, we're also going to give ourselves a blank head. So I'm just uploading that to give myself the same one with a blank background, taking away the background, as you can see here. It's just repetitive. This whole process is repetitive, and once you get the hang of it doing one head, you will be doing multiple expressions after this. It seems complicated right now, but it's not really. So I have my facial expressions. So I'm going to put the original head back up here. I'm just going to delete these off my canvas. I'm going to get the original head back. I'm just going to crop a new one because I keep deleting them, and I'm going to show you that it's so easy to remove the internal features of the bear. It's just the same. You take a circle, you fill in all the features, cover them up nicely, color match, and once again it's a repetitive process. You're going to download this as a PNG, then you're going to bring it back and remove the background. It's the same process over and over to make all of these elements that you're basically breaking down this character. Okay, so now because we've got no eyeballs, I'm just quickly going to make some eyeballs using the circle tool. It's really simple. I'm going to find the face that I cut out already as my size template. I'm just finding him. And I'm going to measure up against him the size that I want to make the eyeballs. So just using the circle tool, you want to make a little black dot for this character. Taking it over. Being consistent with your sizes is something you really need to make sure you do, so your character always looks the same, because it's kind of weird if you've got a character with a different size head in a different scene. I'm going to turn this to the color of his other eye, and then I'm just going to add a little tiny white circle as an eye highlight. Now if I group these two elements together, I have made myself a pupil, and it means his eyeballs can be moved to any part of his eye to change his expression completely on our nice blank face. Now everything you make, you want to download a PNG of, even something this small, and save it to your bare parts file. As you can see, it looks quite similar to the other eye. No one's going to notice that tiny detail is different in different poses. So I'm grouping them together, and I'm going to put them onto the bear's eyeballs on the little blank face, just to show you can put them absolutely anywhere and it will change his expression. You copy and paste if you want to duplicate details. It keeps them exactly the same size, and if you need to flip them or turn them, you can just use the flip function. So I am just going to move that little eyeball to match, and Canva has grid lines and rulers, as you can see, which tell you if things are in the same position, which is really handy. Okay, so now we've got our eyeballs separated. We're going to do the same for our eyebrows. Now we only really need one of these. You're just going to crop it off your little face image, and one eyebrow is enough because you can copy and paste it and then flip it over. So I'm giving these an angry look just to show that changing the eyebrow angle completely changes the entire expression. And the same with the position of the pupils. Wherever you put them, it will change the face entirely. So save your eyebrows. If you've got different eyebrows on different bears, save multiples of them. So I'm going to go back to my little face here, and this time I'm going to take just his nose and the little nose line underneath, because that stays consistent most of the time. I'm going to put that back. As you can see, I'm just removing the mouth, nothing else. I'm going to put that back on his face. It doesn't matter this color around it, it will blend into the bear. And then I'm going to go into the Canva library and search mouth. Now they're really good. They have lots of little graphics of mouths. You just need to find one that not only can be changed in color but matches the style of your bear. So this one's kind of simple. I'm changing the color to match, and I'm going to reduce it and add it to his face to give him a completely different expression. Now at this point you could save your bear's face without a mouth and have multiple mouths for that one angry expression, or you, like me, could just save blank faces with separate facial features that you can play about with. Now I'm just changing the color of his tongue because I thought it was a bit harsh, and I'm showing you here I've created a brand new face just using the things from that pack. Now you could also use just basic shapes to make mouths. Canva do many shapes of oval. If you can't find them in the shapes you're looking for, just go to the little search bar at the top and type in oval, and it will give you all the ovals that they have in the library. Now sometimes just a basic oval like this makes a perfect mouth when your character is this simple, and a lot of Lou's designs, she keeps them quite basic and simple, so these can be duplicated and changed around. Because she learned so much from us doing the Lean and Lou bears about how much we could customize them, I think she deliberately tries to keep things basic so that this can be done. You can also use curve lines or just generic lines to create mouths, but you always need to make sure they can be changed color. This one does not, so I remove it and go for one that the color can be changed, because you always want to match up the color of your additions to the existing outlines of the bears, and it will look like this bear was drawn this way and you have not changed it at all. Zoom in when you're playing with little details like this, because it makes it so much easier to match them up, and play around with them, change the size, move the angle, see what works best for your character's face. Now another thing that you can do with the characters is create false eyelids. to change. I'm just showing you here, this is the blank face, and now look at him. It's a completely new face altogether. And this can all be removed and you can change it entirely. The list of faces is endless. So to create eyelids, I find myself a half circle. Any one will do. You want to turn it around so it's the right way. I decided that I'm going to make this bigger to work on. And then I'm going to change the colour to match the bear. And just because the style, he's got a lot of outlines, I'm going to find a line that I can use just to do the lower edge of the eyelid. So I'm going to take this line, shrink it down and use it to make the outline of the bottom of the eyelid. Now there are shapes that do have outlines already on Canva. I'm sure you could use one of them if you wanted a full outline. I'm going to change the colour of the outline to match the bear's outline, and this means I now have ready-made eyelids that I can make the bear sleepy, I can make the bear frowning, I can resize this eyelid and do pretty much whatever. I can make him look dopey. Now working with the little pupils here, now this is the thing about saving your work in layers. As you can see, my eyeballs are trapped behind this layer, so I'm going to have to move things to get to it. So it's so much easier if you keep a clean canvas for working on a face and then have all your bear parts saved on different pages. You can just copy and paste, because now I need to move him to get those eyeballs. So I'm just grouping him, moving him out the way just so I can get to the eyeballs. Now adding the eyeballs, you can add them in any position whatsoever. Bring them to the front at first until you position them where you want them. I think I zoom in here. Yep, I zoom in here just to get the eyeballs exactly where I want it to be. Make sure my eyelid is in the right place. And then I'm going to tuck it behind the eyelid, and voila, we have a very angry bear. And this is how you play with all the parts of your face. Change up the mouth, change up the eyes. You can group things together when you're happy with them, and when you're happy with an entire face, then you can download the entire face and save it as one complete PNG, so you never need to make that face again. And this is how we end up building a huge portfolio of parts, where one character pack can fuel multiple books with endless poses. It just depends how much time you're willing to dedicate to creating your character pack. So I hope this has been helpful and you can use loose packs in the way that we have shown you. I will do more videos on how to dress the bears, how to assemble them in other ways. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see, leave a comment below and we will get on it. We will catch you in the next video, and I hope this is helpful. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.